Hey, it's Livi. Thank you for coming to my live stream of my album release party of the album Live, and I'm just so incredibly excited to be releasing this album. It's been 4 years since my debut album release of Chasing Visions, so I'm just super excited, and I just want to say thanks to everyone who is tuning in, and thanks to everyone who has supported me, and I'm just super excited to share this journey with you guys. Um, this whole album is just really a story of really my life, kind of, and really it's kind of started in my middle childhood. I'm just gonna get right into talking about my album. Um, this is an album about interpretation. Unlike Chasing Visions, this record is a story kind of dating back to about my middle childhood at about 10 years old. The tracks are all in chronological order of where I was to where I'm at now in my life. The record, like I said, is about interpretation. While it is, in fact, my story, it can also be a metaphor for everybody else's. I really wanted to make every track something that everyone could relate to, so hopefully there is at least one song for everybody on here. The first track and the debut single that was released December 18th of 2019 is called Living My Life. It's the opener. It's basically a summary of what's to come and what's to expect on the record. In terms of interpretation, even the title of the album is an open concept. You can pronounce it live or live. It's the listener's choice. The title kind of came to me after I decided to start making this album and record Living My Life. So about 10 years ago, my youth group did a series at church called Live. We talked about living a live battle for God, and that's an overall theme in my record and in the first track. The goal in making this record was, to, like I said, make my story, but to also kind of speak on everyone else's as well. And that kind of goes all back to the original genre of the record being as there really isn't one. I intended to break down the genre barriers and incorporate as many musical styles as I could into one record. I really just poured my heart and soul out into this album, and I got deep, I got vulnerable, and I believe that music should be a very therapeutic form of honesty. So it was a hard choice to make, but I made the executive decision to write and sing about things that no one else really will. So thank you for listening to my truth. Like I said, I'm super excited to share my story and my journey with all of you. Well, I'm going to just jump right in to talking about the tracks, like one-on-one. I'm going to do a little commentary, and then my sound engineer, KJ, will play the tracks. So the first song on the album is called Living My Life. It opens the door to the entirety of the album, which is kind of an evolution of my life. This song was brought to me when I was 16 years old. A producer named Matt Cox, he reached out to me and knew that I was trying to make it into the music business, but I didn't really know where to start. He wanted me originally to feature on it. And so, of course, I jumped at the opportunity and recorded the hook here in this studio at 16 years old. However, the song really didn't go anywhere. It didn't progress. But luckily, I had already gotten my foot in the door a little bit in the music business. And so I kind of, got a jump start at the career. But I sat on this song for the last 5 years. I didn't put it on my last album because I just really didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know if Matt wanted me to do anything with it or if he wanted to give it to somebody else. I really didn't know. But I knew that this was a song that couldn't be thrown away. So, after 4 years, I was just like, it has to go somewhere because it started my career. So, when Matt wrote the hook for Living My Life, his intentions behind it were kind of how he was living his life for his daughter. And, that's beautiful. But when I finally wrote the rest of the song, I put my story into it and how I am living my life for God. But like I said, there's no right way, there's no wrong way to interpret it. This song is for everyone and who or whatever you live your life for. So I wrote and I rewrote this song for 5 years, really. And I finally just finished the lyrics on the day that I actually brought it here to the studio last year. And the evolution of the album is displayed through the song because, the first 2 hooks were recorded when I was 16, and then the rest of the song I was 21. So I immediately dive into the vulnerability and the truth of the album. Like I said, Living My Life is a song about evolution and what I've been through, so it sums up the album as a whole. I discuss how I'm kind of lost without my faith and how it's not easy staying faithful, but, things don't really get easier until you give it all up to God. And I actually wrote the majority of this song in my car. There's a lyric where I start off, I'm like driving in my cruise with tears in my eyes. And my car is kind of like my safe place, my little sanctuary. I find myself deep in prayer when I'm driving. I'll say my rosary, I'll cry, I'll just hand everything to Him. And it takes me everywhere. The car is kind of a metaphor for God. Like, my car has seen it all, just how He has, and that's where the story starts out. Like I said, I'm going to be a little truthful, very truthful in this whole album. I have had an overdose in that car before, and, the car took me to my wedding at 19 years old. It took me everywhere. It's just to art school, to school, to just everywhere. It's taken me everywhere, kind of like how God has through my life, and, I really tried to live my life on my own terms, but it doesn't work like that. So this song is kind of a prayer in a way, just begging God to take the wheel and to help me to lean on Him. So in the end, I just pray for strength and the power to grow. All right, KJ, you can play the first track. This is my album.
Living my life, 'cause I don't know what to do. I'm just living my life. I just want to see you. I'm just living my life like it's just me and you. I'm just living my life now that I see through and through. Driving in my cruise with tears in my eyes. I'm so sick and tired of the games and the lies. I've lost myself and I need to be found. Have you ever felt the quiet just get too loud? I'm praying, God, can you hear me? Where did you go? I'm falling apart and I feel so alone. If you're there, please know that I need you now. And I'm living for you, but I don't know how. I've survived death, I've lost the love, I've seen the dark and I've grown up. Had to put the bottles down and change my ways. I've prayed to you, God, to please take my pain. Yeah, I wanna be free, just break my chains. Living my life, too much that I've been through. I'm just living my life, constantly being screwed. I'm just living my life, just only for you. I'm just living my life, 'cause I don't know what to do. I married him at 19, divorced him at 20, and I'm 21 now. And I just think it's funny how I just found a girl, then I gave her my heart, but it wasn't enough, 'cause she ripped me apart. I just living my life like it's just me and you. I'm just living my life now that I see through and through. Living my life, too much need I've been through. I'm just living my life, constantly being screwed. I'm just living my life, just only for you. I'm just living my life, 'cause I don't know what to do.
Yay. By the way, that song will be on radioplaytoday.com every day next month, so hopefully you will tune in and listen to it there. Alright, so this next song, we get right into all the darkness. This next song is called Anorexia. So this is the beginning of the story that I am telling on my record. I actually wrote the song when I was 17, but I thought it was too dark to put on my first album. However, when I made the choice to completely open myself up with my music, I knew that this song absolutely had to have a place on the record. This is one of those things that I was saying that most people won't sing about, but this was a song that needed to be written and it needed to be sung. Because it's a huge contribution to my story as a whole. When I was 10 years old, someone very close to me told me I was fat. Something that never even crossed my mind, because what 10-year-old really kind of thinks about that kind of stuff? To this day, it takes me by surprise that something that simple and that stupid, that those small words just broke me the way they did. I always cared about what people thought of me. I always was trying to gain the approval of those around me. What I didn't know was that I was just kind of an early bloomer at that age. I mean, I was bigger than all my friends. I had tits. I had ass, but I was a kid. When that happened, that's kind of where everything really went wrong. So shortly thereafter, I started to starve myself. At 13, I was diagnosed with eating disorder not otherwise specified, and it ended up being like a combination of anorexia and bulimia nervosa. I really developed a deep sense of self-hatred. I punished myself for not looking the way I thought that I should look. I would go days without eating. I had to be hospitalized twice. And then eventually, I kind of tried to overcome it. And when I started, eating like a regular person, my body turned everything that I ate into fat. So, but, I'm a lot happier now than I was then, because I'm not even, I don't have to try to please anybody anymore. I don't have to try to please, myself the way that I did. But the overall message of anorexia is that I lost a lot more than just the weight. I lost more friends than I knew I had. I lost myself. People didn't want to associate themselves with the sick girl anymore. But, this was kind of the moment where all the shit hit the fan. And around that time in my life, I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, mood disorders, but I had to say that, eating disorders open up a wound that allow other parasites to infect you. And, once you have something, you'll always have it. Tastes better than anything. You'll literally starve for perfection. Recovery doesn't have a day off. I had to learn that the hard way. I was only 10 years old when 80 pounds became the goal. How could someone be so cold when weight was nothing I control? At 106 in the 6th grade, all I did was hide in shame. I thought I was overweight, would have done anything to trade for a body like the magazines. Anything but my reality.
couldn't face my own reflection, so I taught myself a lesson. Have you ever missed a meal and everything became so real? I was thin, so damn ideal, and I couldn't even feel. I didn't want the curvy shape, I just wanted to escape. So I took a chance on fate, wouldn't even touch a grape. By the time that I was 13, couldn't even fit in my jeans. Went from a simple size 3 to a size that was way too skinny. I lost more than I ever thought I'd lose. I never asked for a place in anorexia shoes. It's not worth the struggle that comes with it. Oh, it's harder than I care to admit. It was pounds and pounds ago that I lost my self-control. Even hospitalized, I was too big in my eyes. I was just fading away, starving myself day by day. Even though 80 pounds felt great, I had lost more than just weight. Sticking fingers down your throat, it's just not the way to go. Could have lost each pound on earth, but I ruined my self-worth. This disorder ain't a game, it is not something to play, 'cause it'll leave a scar on your body and your heart. You've got to know your beauty. Life isn't like the movies. No matter what my size, I finally realized I lost more than I ever thought I'd lose. I never asked for a place in anorexia shoes. It's not worth the struggle that comes with it. Oh, it's harder than I care to admit. It was pounds and pounds ago that I lost my self-control. Even hospitalized, I was too big in my eyes. I was just fading away, starving myself day by day. Even though 80 pounds felt great, I had lost more than just weight.
It's one of those songs that'll get you in the feels. All right, well, this next song is called Good Mama, and I wrote this for my mom's birthday last year, and it's just, my mom is my best friend. We've always been very super close, yeah. And for the majority of my life, it was just me and her that lived together. In the midst of my eating disorders and hospital treatments, she became my best friend. She really rescued me and saved me from all of that. She was so understanding and open-minded, She really did her best, and that was when I realized that when all else fails, I will always have my mom. And I know it had to have been scary for her to see her baby go through all the trials and tribulations that no parent ever wants for their child. But she stood by me. She didn't give up on me. She never labeled me as a trouble child, And we just always had this close bond. I never even moved out till I was 21. And, it was even very hard then. Half of my stuff is still at her house, really. I had tried to move out before, and it just, it never worked. I always came back. My mom, she taught me everything I know. She taught me what unconditional love was, and she did a kick-ass job at being a single mom. And even now, this cute story, we have trackers on each other's phones, so we always know where the other is. If I plan to go out of town, she tells me to make sure I have it on so, she can keep up with me. And story is, my dad even said that, I inherited my mom's smarts and his good looks. And I guess I agree with that, because she's taught me everything. There's not a thing in this world that she wouldn't do for me. And, I'd reciprocate that any day. She's the most wonderful and beautiful soul I've ever known. I've never known anyone like her. And, I just hope that someday I can be just as awesome as her and carry her strength and her failure with me wherever I go. I love you so much, Mom, and you are my entire heart and soul and my world, and thank you for never giving up on me.
Cause she's a good mama. If I don't tell her where I'm going, then she calls my phone, asking, baby girl, when are you coming home? My mama loves me with her heart and dreams. Yeah, she's the only one I'm ever gonna need. Cause she's a good mama. Yeah, my mama's gonna catch me every time I fall, and she'll take my side even if it's my fault. No matter what I do, she loves me the same. Ain't nothing in this world that I can't be. Cause she's a good mama. Cause good mamas hold you and cry at night. Good mamas always give the best advice. My mom ain't gonna put nothing above me. She's gonna bandage me up every time I bleed. Oh, cause she's a good mama. Yeah, she's a good mama. I've got her brown eyes and her black hair, and I wear her smile no matter where I am. I've got her laugh and I got her love. No matter who I meet, I'm unconditional. Cause I got a good mama. Yeah, my mama taught me how to stay strong and take responsibility when I'm wrong. She says it's okay to cry and fall apart as long as I get back up and follow my heart. Cause she's a good mama. Yeah, good mamas hold you when you cry at night. Good mamas always give the best advice. My mom ain't gonna put nothing above me. She's gonna bandage me up every time I bleed. Yeah, my mama's the one that's my best friend. She's gonna be right there till the very end. Yeah, she puts up with all of my drama. That's cause she's a good mama. Nobody on this earth can compare to her. She's my heart and she I'd walk 1,000 miles for her. Cause she thinks that I'm Supergirl. Yeah, she raised me well, just like she should. One day I pray that I'm just as good. If I ever have the chance to have a daughter, I wanna be like her. Cause she's a good mamas hold you when you cry at night. Good mamas always give the best advice. My mom ain't gonna put nothing above me. She's gonna bandage me up every time I bleed. Yeah, my mama's the one that's my best friend. She's gonna be right there till the very end. Yeah, she puts up with all of my drama. That's cause she's a good mama.
I like that one. All right. This next part, as the story kind of starts to unfold, this song is called Apart, and it's one of the first songs that I wrote for this album. I wrote and produced it back in the summer of 2016 after I met my now ex-husband. The first half of the song was written then, and then I finished it after we got divorced. Long story short, I fell head over heels in love for a guy at the age of 18, and by 19 we were married. And it's true what they say about how everything changes once you're married. We had a completely toxic marriage, and it hurt the both of us. I grew up never believing in divorce, but, until you experience it, you don't understand it. And I felt that God would rather me learn from my mistake than to be miserable for the rest of my life. And, I needed my husband, but, we were just too young. He didn't know how to be there for me. He wasn't much of the romantic type, and towards the end of the marriage was when I had a very catastrophic suicide attempt. I was so tired of hurting, and I honestly thought he would be better off without me. I thought everybody would be. And, the song is not a bash towards him at all, It's just a little jazzy ballad of the pain that we both had to endure at such a young age. And fun fact, the reason that I chose to release this album on February 20th is because that's the day that I got married. And I wanted to make it a day of a happy memory, rather than a not so happy one.
You don't know how much I love you. You don't know how much I care. You don't know how much I want you. Oh, when I really need you there. You will never know the meaning behind what I say to you. 'Cause when you hold me oh so close, it feels so right, baby, I love you. I can't take more nights without you. I'm feeling so alone. I hate feeling so damn empty. I can't do this on my own. I'm missing you so much, and I'm missing your soft touch. Baby, I can't sleep without you. This is killing me too much. And I can't sleep at night, 'cause I miss you, and I'm not alright. I can't take another minute. I'm crying all alone. Oh, I'm trying to get with it, trying to put down the phone. I just can't shake this feeling. I love you with all my heart. I can't do this much longer. I can't stand being apart. It was late February when I said I do. You didn't get down on one knee, and that should have been my first clue. We moved in with my mama, and you couldn't keep a job. It was arguing and shouting. Oh, I wasn't high enough. The screaming and the yelling, all the scars and the wounds, and I just couldn't stay sober. And that's when I knew. And I can't sleep at night, 'cause I miss you, and I'm not alright.
This next song is called No Regrets. And it's also one of the very first songs that I wrote for the album. I had just lost my job, and I was about 18 years old, and mentally I was just at a loss from everything, you know. I started this song out when I was about 18, wrapped it up about 19, 20 years old. It covers some very dark places in my life. I was convinced to get a professional rapper on this song, first of all, because it is a rap song, essentially, and I'm very good at writing rap songs, but not so good at performing them. But after bringing it to the studio, KJ told me that I was the only one that needed to do this song. I was skeptical because I did have a rap song on the last album, which is a complete disaster, and I have to laugh about it now. Just to get me through the day, just thinking that there is a song out there with me attempting to rap. But my first album was really an experimental process, and I think I just tried too hard to sound like a rapper. But this time around, I kind of just, let the words flow when I was recording, and I didn't try to sound like anybody, except myself. I worked on this song in the midst of my marriage. There's reference in there where it says family ain't always blood. I learned that family is based on the people who are there for you. And I'm not somebody that really likes to incorporate a lot of profanity in my music because that's not the image that I'm trying to have. But, as a measure of speaking my truth, there really were no other words to describe what I was going through at the time. So yes, this is an explicit track, and this song also covers a topic of sexual abuse that I had to endure, and how it was so hard because, it was apparently my fault, and some people just didn't even believe me, and that's the worst part of it, when you go through all of this shit, and then people don't believe you, and, say you're trying to play the victim, and this, that, and the other, and, this song was just, it was just kind of like a rant, maybe, I don't know, and a message at the same time, and, I kind of was writing it as I was going through, a lot of dark shit in my head, and, I had a very bad suicide attempt, because I thought, if I did this, who's gonna care, and if I do this, even if people do care, I can't hurt them anymore, that'll be the last thing I ever do that hurts somebody, so, the chorus is really a message to myself and what I wanted my future self to remember if I were to ever go through any of that again. I had to remember the faith in the family, and I had to remember to be careful about, who you trust, because sometimes the only person you can trust is yourself.
Job and I lost my friends. I thought that I'd reached the end. I was lonely, oh so lonely. Oh, I started off thinking I was weak, some loser, some weird freak trying to find me, but I learned real quick that I couldn't stop, not until I reached the very top. I was going, I was soul searching, thought that I could not do anything, so all I did was cry and sing my heart out. Oh, you look at your life and something just ain't right, so you're running around thinking life is a fight, and you can't get past all the shit that you done. But look, baby girl, you're not the only one. Yeah, we all got monsters, we all got fears, we all got things that seem unclear. But take a look at yourself, take a look at the past, and you just seen time go by way too fast. Don't forget what you've seen, don't forget what you've done. Don't take life for granted and don't trust no one. Yeah, you could take all the pills, you could smoke all the dope, you could fuck up your life, but you could run out of hope. But remember the people, and remember the love, and remember that family ain't always blood. But you get what life gives, and you get what you get. So live your life free and don't have no regrets. He held me down, his force force was strong. From then it wasn't very long till I gave up, and it was tough. Yeah, my blood pressure was going up, and I was running out of luck. I wasn't breathing, my heart stopped beating. Paralyzed by fear, full of regret. I'm sorry everyone, I did my best. Wish I could go back to the past. But I shook my head and took a breath to finally take that one last step. Then I stood up when I couldn't. Oh, you look at your life and something just ain't right. So you're running around thinking life is a fight, and you can't get past all the shit that you done. But look, baby girl, you're not the only one. Yeah, we all got monsters, we all got fears. We all got things that seem unclear. But take a look at yourself, take a look at the past, and you just seen time go by way too fast. Don't forget what you've seen, don't forget what you've done. Don't take life for granted and don't trust no one. Yeah, you could take all the pills, you could smoke all the dope, you could fuck up your life, or you could run out of hope. But remember the people, and remember the love, and remember that family ain't always blood. But you get what life gives, and you get what you get. So live your life free and don't have no regrets. Yeah, I'm only 19, but I know one thing. The only person in this world that I got is me. Faith comes first and family comes next, but it's never enough when you're trying your best. When reality hits, it's every man for himself. You can scream, you can cry, but no one comes out to help. They will knock you down and hurt you till you bleed, but until you're dead, you don't mean a thing. Bitches don't care, motherfuckers gonna front. I'm just trying to tell the truth, but I'm too blunt. Yeah, I took you in and I gave you love, but who was I kidding? I wasn't enough. Oh, you look at your life and something just ain't right. So you're running around thinking life is a fight, and you can't get past all the shit that you done. But look, baby girl, you're not the only one. Yeah, we all got monsters, we all got fears. We all got things that seem unclear. But take a look at yourself, take a look at the past, and you just seen time go by way too fast. Don't forget what you've seen, don't forget what you've done. Don't take life for granted and don't trust no one. Yeah, you could take all the pills, you could smoke all the dope, you could fuck up your life, or you could run out of hope. But remember the people, and remember the love, and remember that family ain't always blood. But you get what life gives, and you get what you get. So live your life free and don't have no regrets.
Word. All right. This next song is one of my absolute favorite songs that I've ever written. It's called "Saving Me a Spot in Hell," and everyone who's heard it has been generally pleased with it. It was so much fun to record. It was fun to write, and it's a good song you can laugh with. So finally, we've reached a point in the album that's more upbeat. And this is one of those songs that's especially open to interpretation. When you hear it, you think, Miranda Lambert. You think Church Bells by Carrie Underwood. You think I'm out to kill somebody when you first hear it. Well, I wrote this song when I was 19. I was a freshman in college, and, this was about after I had gotten married, and so I was still, not in my right mind. I was very angry at the time, which is kind of why this song falls in the middle of the album. I was very angry with a lot of things, how my life was going. I was angry at people who were abandoning me. I was mad at the choices that I had made. I was just mad at the world, really, So I made a character named Mary Morgan for this song. And fun fact, I actually made a friend named Mary Morgan in the Carrie Underwood fan club. Much later after I wrote this song, which I thought was pretty funny. But, so I made this character. I gave her all the characteristics and the labels that I had been assigned or that I had assigned to myself. She is everything I don't want to be, so we had to get rid of her. Essentially, she's my alter ego. So, like the words say, I would get in trouble if Mary Morgan didn't die. She is my own personal hell, which she always saves room for me, and she always saves me a spot in hell. However, I can't let her make me succumb to somebody I don't want to be. And the opener of this song was conducted by someone I became very close to about a year ago. She was someone I loved and still love very dearly. However, she essentially became a very toxic person in my life, and that led me to make some choices I never thought I would make. And, that's leading me to become my alter ego, to be someone I don't want to be. And so she essentially became part of my own personal hell. But Saving Me a Spot in Hell can be interpreted however you want it to be. If this is a song about a tramp named Mary Morgan that stole your man, then so be it. There's no right or wrong perspective on this, but I really enjoyed writing this. I enjoyed producing this and recording it. Like I said, it's one of my favorites on the album, and because it's just one of those downright country songs, and, that's where my style goes back to my roots. And so I hope you find some humor and have fun with this song as much as I do.
Where you going, baby? Well, mama, to hell if I don't change my ways. Hey! We're gathered here today to stand in honor. Little Miss Mary Morgan, preacher's daughter. They never saw it coming, they didn't see what little Mary Morgan had done to me. Now, don't get me wrong, she had it coming. Should've seen her face when she started running. So I stand here to read the eulogy of little Mary Morgan, no cup of tea. So bow your head and close your eyes, and I'll thank God for bluer skies. 'Cause she ripped my heart out of my chest. Yeah, I knew that I'd put her to rest. Yeah, I knew I'd get myself in trouble if I didn't find a rusted shovel. I was born in 1997, and God's got me a place in heaven. But I know that girl a little bit too well, so I know she's saving me a spot in hell. Well, Mary Morgan wasn't no sweetie pie. Every word she said was a downright lie. She thought that she'd hurt me, let me down, but now that bitch is in the ground. I'll pay my respects, I'll pay my dues. Her daddy was surprised when he got the news. Her dirt, her mess, he couldn't clean. She was only after one damn thing. So cheap, so dirty, and such a tramp. Too bad I never gave a damn. 'Cause she ripped my heart out of my chest. Yeah, I knew that I'd put her to rest. Yeah, I knew I'd get myself in trouble if I didn't find a rusted shovel. I was born in 1997, and God's got me a place in heaven. But I know that girl a little bit too well, so I know she's saving me a spot in hell. So zip your lips and keep them closed. It's better now than no one knows. 'Cause she ripped my heart out of my chest. Yeah, I knew that I'd put her to rest. Yeah, I knew I'd get myself in trouble if I didn't find a rusted shovel. I was born in 1997, and God's got me a place in heaven. But I know that girl a little bit too well, so I know she's saving me a spot in hell. Yeah, she ripped my heart out of my chest. So I knew I had to put her to rest. And I knew I would get in trouble, so I had to go find a shovel. I was born in 1997, but it ain't my time to go to heaven. But I know that girl a little bit too well, so I know that she's already down in hell.
Yeah, I love that one. It's so much fun. But leave it to me. We're fixing to get back into the darkness. This next song is called Respirator. Matt Cox produced this one, just like he did Living My Life. This is one of the more vulnerable songs on the record. I go in to talk about my codependency issue and how I have been thrown away in the past because of it. And until I recorded Respirator, I had never cried in the studio, but I had tears just pouring down my face in the process of singing the song. I wrote it about a year ago when I was in a very dark place. my codependency had caused me to lose a lot of people in my life that, I loved more than they could ever know. And, the song talks about how I'd fall apart without them. I didn't know how to be alone. I couldn't breathe without them, essentially them being my respirator. And I was tired of losing the people that I loved. I nearly lost the love of my life as I was writing this song. So because of that, I nearly gave up on myself. I thought I was no longer worthy of love. Like I said, respirator covers a very painful topic in my life that I don't talk about a lot. I have something called dependent personality disorder, and it is the biggest demon that I have faced in my life. How I don't know how to control my feelings, and I always run my mouth until, the person I become dependent on leaves me. When I say my tongue gets me into trouble, always burst in my own bubble. And whoever I become dependent on is the person that I rely on for my happiness, which isn't okay. And, I start to rely on them for everything in my life, which also isn't okay. I can't exist without them. And what people don't understand about dependent personality disorder is that it's a serious diagnosis. It doesn't really have a treatment for it. It requires a lot of reassurance and healing, and I know it's exhausting, for me and for the other person involved. And, it really hurts me to hurt people, It's not something I try to do. But, I learned when I was 13 years old that abandonment has always been my biggest fear. I start to halfway convince people that I am crazy sometimes due to my high levels of codependency. And then, once I get my sanity back, I'm like, well, shit, I just ruined it. Why did I do that? And I end up scaring the people that I love and need the most out of my life by crossing these emotional boundaries. And it sucks because I know that at the end of the day, I'm not crazy. And, all of that's not worth losing people that you love. And I'll let the lyrics of the song tell you the rest of that story.
Evil love ain't enough to believe in. My patience is wearing thin. I can't sleep without you by me. It's getting too hard to breathe. Love ain't a game and I ain't playing. Please just hear me when I'm saying I'm running, take it step by step, not stopping till I'm out of breath. Losing air, can't breathe no more. Love is what I'm fighting for. Take my hand, I need you to understand that I'm not breathing anymore. Damn, you are my respirator. Baby, please don't leave me now. I'm trying to figure out how. I know I can't stop messing up, but know that I'm not giving up. I need you to just hold me by myself. I just can't breathe. Gasp for air, I hit the floor. Damn, you are my respirator. Running back, looking back, talking too fast. Keep running my mouth till I'm out of breath. Holding my tongue, can't keep no one. I'm the one that you're running from. I just can't get myself free until you come back to me. I need you, can't breathe no more. Baby, you're my respirator. I gave you all of my heart just to have it all torn apart. My tongue gets me into trouble, always burst in my own bubble. I just can't pick up my pieces by myself. I am useless, don't you see that on my respirator.
Sorry, that song hits me every time because of just how personal it is. But all right, we're fixing to get a little more upbeat again. All right, this next song is called "Crazy Out of My Head." Yeah, and so I bet you're thinking, yeah, she's crazy, and that's kind of what this song is about. You know, I'm going crazy trying to convince people that I'm not. That's what's making me crazy. So I really get into the depths of my craziness that people associate with me. But this was so much fun to record because I got to be really theatrical with it. Like I said, I discussed how I go crazy trying to convince people that I'm not crazy. Vocally speaking, the song starts out so pretty and soft, and then by the end of the song, you hear everything inside of my head, and it's train wreck, and it sounds like a tornado has just taken place in my mind, and it's like, you know, a garbage truck has just run over, you know, scrap metal or something, you know. That's the sound effects that we used. But it was so much fun. The sound effects were just epic in the song, and I just loved it. I actually wrote, this was one of the last songs I wrote for the album. I wrote it about two people, but won't say names. One being an ex-girlfriend of mine, and one being someone that I admired very much, but developed an emotional dependency towards. How it's not fair that I have to see them everywhere, and, you know, while I'm trying to rid myself of this dependency issue and past feelings, and, but they, you know, as I'm, you know, slowly getting better and, you know, chilling out, they pop up in my dreams. And it's just like, no, stop, get out of my head. Like, I can't, you know, I'm trying to recover, and then you're just still in my mind. And it becomes impossible to get somebody out of your head when they won't get out of your dreams, you know? And, because it only triggers past feelings, but, you know, after running my mouth, kind of how I, you know, do, to the point of scaring people with my strong feelings of dependency, and with witnesses, I might add, I've not only convinced them that I'm crazy, but I've convinced everybody else that I'm crazy. And, you know, here we are 3 years later. I have regained my sanity, for now. And, you know, I'm cool, but, you know, that doesn't erase the unintentional pain and or trauma that I've caused somebody. And it sucks, you know, because you're not that person anymore. But, you know, you can't take that away. But, welcome to being inside of my head and out of my head.
I see you in my dreams. I see you in the streets, and it just isn't fair that I see you everywhere. But I remember what you told me when I was so lonely. I was vulnerable. I had no control over myself. You made me look so crazy, but baby, you're on my mind lately. You've been in my dreams. I just let you please. I'm trying to get you out of my head. Now everyone hates me, 'cause they think I'm crazy. But I can't help how I feel. Know that my love is real. No, I never tried to hurt you. Girl, I thought that I You're everywhere I go, but you just have to know. Oh, I'm so sorry, girl, I'm not crazy. Just please love me. Yeah, yeah, I can't control my brain. Promise I'm not insane. I just wish you'd understand. But I remember what you told me when I was so lonely. I was vulnerable. I have no control over myself. Yeah, you make me feel so crazy. But baby, you're on my mind lately. I see you in my dreams. So I beg you, please. Yeah, I'm trying to get you out of my head. This ain't manipulation, it's just a situation. It's been 3 years, yeah, it's time to change gears. You got me scared of you, 'cause now I'm hurt too. I swear I'm trying to get you out of my head.
Hopefully you can laugh with that one, like I do. I'm not crazy, I promise. Anyway. Alright, moving on. This next song is called Keep Fighting. Keep Fighting was one of the first songs that I wrote for this album. You know, I wrote it back in the summer of 16. The title pretty much gives away all the meaning behind the song. I wrote this shortly after the release of Chasing Visions, but I wanted to have a song with a new sound that I had hardly done before. I wanted kind of a rock and roll type of vibe, you know, kind of like, you know, Bon Jovi, Joan Jett, you know. Before I even put the words in here, I produced the whole song, and I was fairly new to the production game of this whole thing. So, like I said, I wanted to really break down the genre barriers in producing a sound different than my own, being as I don't really have a sound. But it's definitely an Livi song because, you know, the message is a commonality upon most of my tracks, you know, just keep fighting through the darkness.
No one's getting out, no one's getting out, no one's getting out, getting out of the darkness. Even if you shout, even if you shout, even if you shout, 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 you're stuck in this mess. Can't win for losing, can't lose for winning. On a thin sheet of glass, all you do is spin and kick the dust up. Trying to give up, getting through the day without trying to screw up. You're just trying to live life day by day. You're just trying to do things your own way. All you can do is sit and pray that things will work out anyway. You can't give up in this life, even if it keeps you up at night. You just gotta do what's right, yeah. You just can't give up the fight, keep fighting. Oh, keep fighting. Oh, it's so hard to move on, so hard to move on, so hard to move on. You're just holding on, you're just holding on, you're just holding on, and you can't let go, yeah. The light goes out, you scream and shout. There's no way in hell you're getting out. Stuck inside and you can't hide. No one knows what you feel inside. You're just trying to live life day by day. You're just trying to do things your own way. All you can do is sit and pray that things will work out anyway. You can't give up in this life, even if it keeps you up at night. You just gotta do what's right, yeah. You just can't give up the fight, keep fighting. Oh, keep fighting. Oh, tears in the studio, ghost on the dance floor. I know what I want. I want more. You just gotta fight. You just gotta fight. You just gotta fight, you just gotta fight. I'm one way one day, another way the next day. I'm not an option, I'm the first choice. Hey, you just gotta fight, you just gotta fight. You just gotta fight, you just gotta fight. You're just trying to live life day by
rock on. Alright. This next song is a little bit on the darker end, kind of. It's called If I Don't Survive. This was one of those songs that was hard to write, but, it needed to be done. It does have a good backstory, though. I actually wrote this song as a school project my junior year of college for a class called Analysis of Discourse. Well, the reason I decided to be an English major is to enhance my songwriting, and I think that's exactly what I accomplished here. The assignment was to do a revision project of one of the papers that we had done that semester. And one of our papers was a news analysis. We had to cover like a news story. The story I chose was on the Columbine High School shooting. Because that's something that it fascinates me on a psychological level as well. I'm also a psychology major, fun fact. But it's also something that we see a lot, a lot in the country. And, shootings as a whole here in Jackson. And it just fascinates me because, I just think it's crazy for someone to think that that's okay, But I wrote this song kind of through the perspective of if I were to succumb to gun violence or a school shooting, how it's not fair that I have been able to conquer my demons thus far, but, someone else to take that away from me. And I think that goes to say for everybody. We don't know what others go through. No one knows what we go through. So we don't get to play God, And this song is just kind of an anthem praying for forgiveness to those who have and will lose their lives to gun violence. And, like all of my songs, they develop new meaning over the time, even after I've written them. And that's kind of what happened here, unfortunately. Back in August, I lost my roommate, Ernest Myers, and it was to a gang shooting. It was very unfortunate. So, yeah, this song took a little bit more of a personal meaning. I believe that we have the right to bear arms, but, we don't have a right to play God, because you only get one life, it's just not fair to take it from somebody else. Oh, I've survived the heartbreaks, and I've survived the mistakes, and I've survived my depression, and I've survived all my discretions.
was only 21, I was too young to die.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a real tearjerker. Well, aside from that, this next song is called Bang. So this is just a fun song that I decided to write for the album. It's not really an Livi song from what I've been told, but, you know, which is one of the reasons I wrote it, because it doesn't really have any backstory or deep meaning like the rest of my songs do. It's just kind of like a break from all the personal and deep shit that I usually record, and, you know, I put a lot of dark and heavy and personal stuff on here, you know, so this is just kind of like a little break from all of that. We even put like a heavy amount of auto-tune on it, which I'm not really a fan of, just for the sense of it being a not-so-serious song. And I've reached the age, you know, I'm 22 now, where I can, surprise, sing about sex. But it's not the image that I want for myself. It's not something I've centered my music around. I don't think I ever will. But, you know, I needed a track that people could dance to and have fun with, especially after a song so heavy such as If I Don't Survive. So, you know, don't think of this as you're being inside of my head when I'm in the bedroom, please. It's just, you know, it's just fun, it's light, and it's a good dance song. So, you know, club out to it, you know, when you're getting ready to go out for a night, but, you know, don't take it personal, don't take it serious. Bang.
I wanna bang my head against the wall. I wanna bang these sticks against the drums. I wanna bang to this beat all day long. I wanna bang my baby. I wanna make love. Oh, let me explore your body. Kiss my lips, say you love me. Please don't stop, give me what I want, baby. Keep it up. Don't slow down. Feel the rhythms in our body. Pull me down. Do it hard or do it softly. Say my name, baby. Lips my escape. I can almost hear my heart beat. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, bang, 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 bang. Baby, when I look at you, I crave your touch. Just wanna grab you by your hair and then make love. God, you're driving me insane, making me feel this way. Got my body tingling at the right place. Oh, let me explore your body. Kiss my lips, say you love me. Please don't stop, give me what I want, baby. Keep it up. Don't slow down. Feel the rhythms in our body. Pull me down. Do it hard or do it softly. Say my name, baby. Lips my escape. I can almost hear my heart beat. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, make me feel safe with your touch. Make me feel safe with your love. Like a gun I go bang, like a firework bang, like a hand grenade bang, I explode, I go bang, like a beat I go bang, like a crash I go bang, like a storm I go bang, 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 bang. Oh, let me explore your body. Kiss my lips, say you love me. Please don't stop, give me what I want, baby. Keep it up. Don't slow down. Feel the rhythms in our body. Pull me down. Do it hard or do it softly. Say my name, baby. Lips my escape. I can almost hear my heart beat. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, have fun with that one. All right. Well, this next song is one of the most important songs on the album. And like Good Mama, it's a song that I wrote for somebody. It's called Haven't You Heard? And actually, I think this one might be my favorite on the album. It's actually the last song that I recorded for the album. I didn't even plan on writing it really, but I felt like this record needed one more song to really tie everything together. I wanted another song that, was kind of the alternative rock vibe, but still captured something in my heart that, meant everything to me as a person and as an artist. Like I said, it's very unusual for me to write songs about people unless they have really hurt me. So I think that's what's so special about Haven't You Heard? I also have never taken this long to write a song or produce a song as I did on this one. I worked on it for about 2 to 3 weeks straight. There's songs that I'll start on and then I'll pick it up a year later, but this one I did constant. I did it like every single day for about 2 to 3 weeks. And I even adjusted it after the first recording session because I still just, it wasn't perfect and I needed it to be perfect, and I hope that it is. I wrote Haven't You Heard kind of as a gift of gratitude for my psychology advisor, Dr. Catherine Hurd. Dr. Hurd is a teacher that has really inspired me and, believed in me since day one. And, that means more to me than I can say. She's given me wisdom and love and reassurance to keep going, and, not just as a student, but as a person. And, there's some teachers that, they'll touch your lives and, help you prosper as a student, but she's one of the ones that's touched my life as a person and as an artist, and she's one of the few people in my life that refuses to give up on me despite what I'm suffering, like on a mental level. And I guess, she's a psychology teacher, she understands that. But still, that just, it overwhelms me with so much humbleness and, I can't even say. She's so wise and understanding and compassionate, and I admire her more than she knows. And I just didn't know how else to thank her for being the one teacher in my college career that I could count on. That one that didn't associate me with a label. And, that's her objective in every class that she teaches, which I love. Her objective is to develop empathy and to see a person before making a diagnosis. You see that person before, for who they are, not what they are. And I just love that, And she taught me that I am more than a label or a diagnosis, and that before anything, I'm a person. And, there's not a lot of people that, say that or think that way, and I just love that. And, so a lot of this song is, like, inspired from what she's told me. She told me she admires my tenacity and my creativity and my persistence, and, that I make her heart smile, and, so I just kind of put some of that in here along with, how I feel. And I don't say this a lot about a lot of people, but she saved my life, and she's a huge reason that I'm mentally okay right now. And, Dr. Hurd, if you're watching this, I just want to thank you so much. I couldn't do this journey without you. Thank you for being the light in my darkness. I really think God knew what he was doing when he put you in my life.
You can light up a room, oh, haven't you heard? Your magic mystique keeps my mind immersed. I know that this sounds a little cliche, but I hope you never go away. When I met you, I was so damn weak, but you help me stay strong. You keep me up on my feet when I wanna give up and I'm completely submerged. You're the only one that saves me from getting hurt. Your laugh, your smile makes things worth my while. You make me want to be a better person. Oh, I'm tired of my heart trying to mend itself. How is it that you know me better than I know myself? You are an incandescent light and you shine so bright. Oh, haven't you heard? It's like you know what's going on inside of my head. How do you bandage up the wounds that nobody else can? You see me for who I am and you know that I am more. Oh, haven't you heard? You give the glitter in my tears that special shine. Some days you're the only thing that makes me smile. You're nothing that I thought I ever deserved. Oh, haven't you heard? You told me that I'm enough, but you were so much more. When I get knocked down, you're the one that I want. You admire my tenacity and persistence. You're part of the reason I still exist. Your glow and your smile. I hope I'm worth your while. I don't know what I'd do if I ever lost you. Haven't you heard? Oh, I'm tired of my heart trying to mend itself. How is it that you know me better than I know myself? You are an incandescent light and you shine so bright. Oh, haven't you heard? It's like you know what's going on inside of my head. How do you bandage up the wounds that nobody else can? You see me for who I am and you know that I am more. Oh, haven't you heard? You won't judge a situation that you've never been in, and your open arms help me feel safe within. Every time you talk to me, it warms my heart. Your reassurance like a work of art. And I don't know why, but you actually care. You have such a kind heart and you're completely aware. You don't make me feel crazy, yeah, you make me feel fine. I love you and your sparkling shine. You have beauty, you have grace. You keep a smile on your face, and you say that I make your heart smile. Oh, and you do the same. Oh, I'm tired of my heart trying to mend itself. How is it that you know me better than I know myself? You are an incandescent light and you shine so bright. Oh, haven't you heard? And it's like you know what's going on inside of my head. Do you bandage up the wounds that nobody else can? You see me for who I am and you know that I am more. Oh, haven't you heard? Yeah, I'm tired of my heart trying to mend itself. Yeah, I wanna get better, wanna fix myself. Yeah, you're giving me life and you force me to fight. Oh, haven't you heard? That you rescued me from demons inside of my head. Yeah, I want you to know you saved me from myself. You can look past all my darkness and you see me as more. Oh, haven't you heard?
I worked very, very hard on that song, and, it'll always mean so much to me, and, and if you didn't get the play on words, haven't you heard, for Dr. Hurd, I'm sure you picked up on that. Anyway, All right, this next song is called Sahara Desert Eyes. This is a song I wrote about a year ago, and I think from a lyrical standpoint, this is a favorite of mine that I've written. Part of the authenticity of my music is my sound itself, and I like the country vibe that I had going on in this song because, that's where my roots are. And it's kind of nerve-wracking to release this song because we didn't use auto-tune on this. And, we had to do so many retakes on this one. But, I knew that Sahara Desert Eyes had a spot on this album because, the metaphors and the lyrics, there's just so much that, needed. And it kind of, ties up the album a little bit. But I finished the actual recording process of the song about a month ago. And the song actually kind of started out as a poem. I was in a very dark space, and I was suffering mentally. And there really wasn't a day that I could go without crying. I ruined so many pillows and pillowcases because I cried off all my eyeliner and all my mascara. And I don't know how I didn't get dehydrated because I cried every single day for 3 months straight. And so, I was just kind of thinking, what's dry? A desert. And I wish I had Sahara Desert Eyes. And after that, the song just kind of put itself together. I'm not a drinker, but, I thought it'd be fun to throw in some lyrics about substances that could numb you since, country music covers drinking a lot. There's kind of a theme in the song that, everything just kind of builds up inside of me, and I just kind of blow up. It's kind of like a force of nature, there's a hurricane in my soul. I'm not a soft summer sky. There's a forest in my mind, a blizzard in my soul. My world's a tornado, and, I think nature's kind of compatible with people. It's a natural thing to have emotions, to cry, to panic, to freak out, but, like the environment, we kind of have to take care of ourselves and our bodies like the world, or, our bodies are going to fight back. We can't erase the pain, but, we can learn from it, cleanse ourselves from the toxicity of the world, and, I think that's kind of where I'm at now in life. But at the same time, I'm overly sensitive and I'll cry about anything.
Shut up, Patron, and shut up, Annie.
we have reached the end of the album. All right, this last song is called Remember Your Why. And when I wrote this song, I was just kind of goofing around with a few chords, the few chords that I do know for the guitar. And I'm not an instrumentalist by any means. But I was able to come up with this powerful ballad on my guitar. The background story is kind of funny, actually. Sometimes I just get these wild genius ideas in my head for lyrics, and I surprise myself for even thinking of them. And a lot of these happen right before I go to sleep. Anyway, so before I forget them, I write them down in my little notepad on my phone. And I've been doing this for years now. I really did it so that I could find something creative if I was ever going through a writer's block. And it turned out that I made this entire song just from little lyrical ideas in a notepad. That have just been building up over the years, which is funny and kind of awesome. Because it just developed so much meaning, you know? And we did this here in the studio instrumentally. Like, I didn't mix it, like, on a computer or anything. You know, we did this solely with instruments. We also did that with If I Don't Survive, which was kind of cool on that part as well. But when I was about 14, I had this thing in my head, live, don't just exist. What makes you feel alive, And, it's kooky for a 14-year-old to even think about stuff like that, but, I was one of the weird ones. And I thought of how alive I felt whenever I could go on stage and sing. And I'd always say, life, living, not existing, singing makes me feel alive. And those words have just always kind of stuck with me. And, I think that's kind of the overall theme of not only this song, but the record as a whole. Remember Your Why is an anthem for the ending of the album. It's just kind of like the song I'll Be Back on my last album. It kind of just wraps everything up on a lighter note. And the song is especially important to me. It's kind of like different pieces of me that have come together to complete the puzzle that is my life. It's like I'm not finished. I'm just beginning, so I have to remember why I'm doing all of this. The music, the writing, and most importantly, living. I live through my music, and my music kind of lives through me.
Can you shine without the shimmer? Can you sparkle without glitter? Can you glow without the glimmer? Can you live without existing? Can you live a life worth living? Can you have faith without believing? Can you, do you think that you can try? Do you choose to live or die? How am I my own demise? I just wanna feel alive. So just remember why. Don't trade your trust in for a lie. Don't mistake your love for desire. Yeah, remember why. Don't lose the fire in your eyes. Don't rush through life, yeah, take your time. Life living, not existing. Do what makes you feel alive. And just remember your why. My feelings are the death of me, but oh, they make me feel alive. Dear God, they keep on hurting me. Why do you always make me fight? It's fight or fight in my life. There is no flight until there's life. I've got to remember why. I just always try and try. Do I choose to live or die? How am I my own demise? I just wanna get right. So just remember just remember your why. Don't trade your trust in for a lie. Don't mistake your love for desire. Yeah, remember your why. Don't lose the fire in your eyes. Don't rush through life, yeah, take your time. Life living, not existing. Do what makes you feel alive. Yeah, life's worth living, not resisting. I just wanna feel alive. So just remember your why.
Yay! Well, that's my album. I have a bonus track I'm gonna play, but first I just want to do the thank yous to everybody who made this album possible. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in to listen. That means more to me than anything. Most importantly, I want to thank God for, giving me this opportunity, giving me the voice that I have to tell my story, and, just this incredible opportunity to meet the people that I have met that got me here. I want to thank my parents. Hi, Mom. Thank you to my mom, my best friend, my everything in life. Just thank you for blessing me with the voice, because I know you used to sing. And thank you for giving me all you could give me. Thanks to my parents as a whole, for giving me the support that I needed to pursue my life as a musician. Thanks for allowing me to join a show choir at 10 years old and letting me drag you to every single one of my performances. Thank you for letting me sing in my room at the top of my lungs and in the back seat of your cars. Hopefully I've gotten better since then. Thank you to my wonderful partner, Adam. You are one of my biggest support systems, and I love you with all of my heart. Thank you for always believing in me and my dreams. I appreciate you never giving up on me despite all of my craziness. And that is our life. Thank you to the handful of friends that I have that support my music. That means so much to me. I know I'm not an easy friend to keep, but, keep holding on. I thank you for that. Thank you to Dr. Catherine Hurd for being the inspiration I needed to finish my album and for always believing in me as a person. A big thank you to all of the teachers I've ever had, from pre-K to now. There's a lot of you that have, helped me along the way, and that means a lot, just that you still keep up with me. Thank you to KJ. He is the one that made this entire album happen. Without him, we wouldn't be here. This is his studio. This is his everything, I only sound as good as, he can make me sound. And he is awesome, and he got my career started, really, and, he's been a big help for everything. And to 16 Bars Recording Studio, for giving me, all 14 tracks of this past year. It's been a hell of a year, but we did it. Thank you to everyone in my family who has seen this journey all the way through. Aunts, uncles, all the 18,000 cousins I have. Thank you to my mamaw, especially, for helping me out financially with this album. I got a good kickstart on this album because of you, and I appreciate that, and I love you. Everybody, in my family, everyone is so important as individuals. And to thank you for everybody in general who supports me and my music. The listeners, the fans, I know. That means so much to me that you buy and stream my music. Thank you, everybody. I love each and every one of you, and I'm so excited to share my journey with you. Subscribe to 16 Bars Recording Studio and to my own YouTube page. You can follow me on Twitter, AnnaLivy97, Instagram, Anna_Livy_. Go follow 16 Bars Recording Studio, share, subscribe. Live your life, keep chasing visions, and remember your why. And thank you so much. We're going to play the bonus track now. It is a demo of me singing Chasing Visions, the first recording of me singing Chasing Visions. So bye, thank you, good night.
We are the reckless, we are the wild youth, chasing visions of our futures. We are the reckless, we are the wild youth, chasing visions of our futures. We are the young and we are the reckless, chasing dreams until we're breathless. We are the reckless and the wild youth, chasing things too far beyond the truth. We get where we're going no matter how far the journey. We fight for our passions because they are burning. The future is what we simply make it. It's never too late to stand up and make a statement. We are the reckless, we are the wild youth, chasing visions of our futures. We are the reckless, we are the wild youth, chasing visions of our futures. You're gonna have to break it, you're gonna have to take it, you're gonna have to fake it till you make it. To get through the song you're gonna need the lyrics. To get through this life you're gonna have to fear it. To make the pass, you've gotta play the game. If you want the fortune, you'll have to want the fame. We live to love and love to chase our visions. You're never too young to actually make a difference. We dream to live and live to dream our futures. But to do that, you've gotta put all of the truth first. We are the reckless, we are the wild youth, chasing visions of our futures. We are the reckless, we are the wild youth, chasing visions of our futures. You just gotta break it, you just gotta take it, and you just gotta fake it till you make it. We are the wild youth, chasing visions of the future.
Bars Recording Studio in Jackson, Mississippi. 4652 McWillie Drive, Jackson's industry recording studio. We also offer online mix and mastering and all other studio needs. Visit 16BarsRecording.webs.com. Once again, 16BarsRecording.webs.com. 16 Bars Recording Studio. You can also contact us at 601-622-2922. Located in Jackson, Mississippi, 4652 McWillie Drive. Your #1 industry standard recording studio, 16 Bars. Offering quality recording, mixing, mastering, editing, music production, live bands, voiceovers, and more. Contact us today. Block rates available. Also visit on Instagram at 16BarsStudio. Call KJ at 601-622-2922. Book your session today.